Hello, my name is Melanie Wesley, and welcome to the Salon Social Podcast. On today's episode, we are joined by Jon'tue Jeanene, a successful hairstylist and salon owner of Salon Jon'tue Jeanene. In this conversation, we discuss Jon'tue's journey in the hair industry, her experience starting her own business, and the importance of customer service and client relationships. Jontue shares her strategies for building her clientele while creating exceptional client experiences. The discussion highlights a need in creating a welcoming atmosphere and the importance of having empathy and understanding. We emphasize the transformative power of hairstyling and the significant roles that hairstylists play in the lives of our clients. We also touch on how crucial it is not to get complacent and always treat your repeat clients with the utmost importance. We discuss some of the challenges faced by new stylists and the negative impact it can have on your brand. We even touch on the importance of health and its connection to our hair, with me sharing my own health journey and challenges. And lastly, Jontue introduces us to her vitamin company, Vita Beauty Labs. I hope that you can find key takeaways from our conversation with Jontue, and I am forever grateful to you for lending me your ear. Until next time, be good, be true, be you. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are being joined by Jon'tue Jeanene. And before I introduce her, I just want to say welcome again to the Salon Social Podcast. I am Melanie Wesley, your salon experience consultant. And on this podcast, we really dive into getting into the business of salon business. And we interview different stylists and clients as well, just to get a holistic view on what's going on in our industry. So today we are being joined by Jon'tue Jeanene. Jontue was born in Jacksonville, Florida, raised in Tallahassee, where she discovered her passion for hair and beauty at an early age. She grew up in a culturally diverse community where she was exposed to a variety of styles and trends that really sparked her interest in the transformative power of hairstyling, and it is transformative. After she completed high school in Florida, she decided to pursue her passion at Paul Mitchell in Jacksonville, where she immersed herself in the art and science of cosmetology, honing in on her skills and developing a keen eye for detail. After over a decade, Jontue established herself as a master cosmetologist, where she was known for her creativity, expertise, and commitment to excellence. Her work has been featured in publications and shout-outs showcasing her talent and dedication to her craft. And then she moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Jontue founded the Vita Beauty Labs, formerly known as Vita Glow and Grow, a beauty brand dedicated to providing high-quality vitamins that nourish and enhance natural beauty. Her entrepreneurial spirit and passion for innovation have propelled Vita Beauty Labs to success. Currently, she is residing in Atlanta, where Jontue is a proud parent of a son and the owner of her Jon'tue Jeanene Salon, a premier destination for luxury hair care services. With a commitment to providing exceptional customer service and experiences, fostering a supportive community, Jontue continues to inspire and empower clients to look and feel their best. So thank you. That was an impressive bio. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome, Jontue.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So for full disclosure, Jontue and I attempted to do this podcast recording about a couple days ago, and my internet just decided not to work. So here we are again, trying to get this done. And we're going to just dive into your story. You have established so much in your career, and we just want to know how you did it. Like, tell us how you got started, tell us your story, your background, and then we can kind of jump into like your business, today and how things are going as a hairstylist in Atlanta. So off to you, Jontue.
Hey, I used to work for corporate America. I was in finance, and then I got let go because I was the last to come, so the first to go when they did cutbacks.
When
And
was this? What year was this, would you
this
say?
is in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't
Okay.
remember that
The
year,
year? Okay.
but I had left South Florida, went back home to Jacksonville, Florida, and kind of happened that way. Then after that, I decided to go to hair school. I took a personality test. It was like, do something creative. So
Mhm.
to Paul Mitchell on an interview. I was gonna do nails.
Okay.
I was gonna do nails, and they were like, for your money, the same price you're gonna pay for nails, you could be a triple threat, do hair, skin, nails, also barbering. I was like, okay, let's.
Right.
And once we got to the nail part, I couldn't polish.
Oh,
I didn't think that was gonna work, but I end up excelling in the hair side of things. So
nice.
yeah, which
That's
I've
awesome.
always been doing hair. It just actually clicked
Yeah.
when I
Right.
got into Paul Mitchell.
You and I have a very similar story in the way that our careers kind of got kickstarted because I too was really attracted to hair as a young girl. I just wanted to do people's hair. I'm the oldest of three girls. And so I really got a chance to like practice on my sisters, my cousins. And whenever I would see someone with a full head of hair, I just wanted to put my fingers in their hair. And for a long time in my life, I ran from that career. Like I kind of talked myself out of it because of fear, the fear of the unknown. Like, what if I do somebody's hair and they don't like it? Or what if they ask me for something that I can't, deliver? So I kind of kept playing that narrative in my head all the time for a long time and ran from my gift and my skill until, just like you, I was working in finance. I thought that was what I was supposed to do, get a regular job, get a steady paycheck and just live your life. But um, 2008, when we had the big recession, was when they laid me off from my finance job. And I was kind of, forced to figure out what the next move was. And hair was the very next thing that came very natural to me. And so that's what I ended up doing. So I find so much similarities in our story. That is amazing. Like, I love hearing people tell their story because, believe it or not, a lot of hairstylists, we kind of have very, very similar paths, like where we, you know, have a natural talent for something or are just really creative at heart, and then was working, corporate America, and then something happened that propelled us into where we really needed to be, which is hairstyling. And look at you just thriving. So tell us, so after you went into Paul Mitchell, you graduated, you got you got a lot of accolades while you were there, right? Like,
Yes,
tell us a
yes.
little bit about that.
Everything they had to offer, I did. Phase two, product team, what else? Every activity. I can't remember. It's been a minute, but
I know.
everything I did it. I was like, let's
I'm
do
sure you
it.
got student of the month, all of those things.
Everything that I could do, I did, and it was
You
fun.
soaked it up.
Enjoyed everything.
Okay. So after you graduated from Paul Mitchell, did you immediately start your own business? Did you go into a salon and then try to build your clientele? Tell us how that transition worked out for you.
Actually went into a salon and tried to work there. It wasn't really my crowd. I think I was in a salon with younger people, and my clients were more of corporate.
Okay. Okay.
So it didn't really work out. And then I went into a salon suite. And from there, it just became very great. When I first started, I had to drive Lyft first because
You
I
had
only
to
had,
you had
yeah,
to drive?
yes, I only had three clients when I came into my suite. So I drove Lyft from 5 in the morning to 10.
Right.
And then I would work from 10 to sometimes 12 a.m. in the morning. So it was like an all day thing until I was able to build. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone in Atlanta, so I signed up for Groupon. So I was doing Groupon, and they take like half of the money. So it's really
Yeah,
still no money, but the money came when they returned back as a return customer. So it was
good.
like an introduction to my services, and I
Yeah.
actually enjoyed it. It's the price of advertising. It's all
Yeah.
look at it.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point that you bring up because I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs and business owners, especially when you're just getting started, you really don't have the funding, the capital to kind of pour everything into marketing and advertising. But even if you can do one little thing that can help, push your name out there and get people to know you and know where you are and what you're doing, what your services are, like that's really an investment. Like I think a lot of times we look at it as, a cost and like, oh, this is too expensive, I can't afford this, but you can't afford not to do it because if you don't do it, no one will know about you, like, or it will take longer for you to get your name out there, from more of a traditional word of mouth thing, which works perfectly fine, but it doesn't work as fast as doing something like what you did, which is like buying ads.
And then word of mouth is like I said, I had 3 clients, so that would have really taken a long time. I think what helped me out the most was my customer service because
Oh,
how you treat people and if you make them feel welcome and if they want to return or not. And I did
yes.
really well with that. So I got a return off of my investment, which was marketing and advertising in Groupon. It's over 300 clients I have from them.
Wow. As of today, you have over 300 clients. So you
Yes,
built your
but
clientele.
yes, I have natural clients, so they come. Like it's different.
Yes. Yes.
Some
Absolutely.
some every 2 weeks, some once a month. I see some people once a year. So
Yeah.
it just depends. Yes.
People from all walks of life, and
Oh,
like some people are more comfortable with doing their hair in between and just come for, whatever. But like that, I don't want to, bypass the point that you make. So you found that once you started to advertise on Groupon and people started hearing about you, they came for the first time. But what really helped to grow your business was customer retention, people
yeah.
coming back into your salon.
Yeah.
And from what I heard you say, you did that through client experience, like creating a great, welcoming atmosphere for people. Just that's what I teach. That's what I really want stylists to understand, like how important client experience is for growing your business and bringing people back. Because I find that some stylists may not do well with the customer service, and they to them it's like, okay, she comes and gets her hair done and I get my money and then I'm good, like, but that's not the way to grow and keep your business thriving. Like, yes, you may get that one off, but are they going to go back and talk about you and say something positive about you? Are they going to refer people to you? Are they going to come back themselves? Like, what kind of feeling did you give them when they left? Did they feel satisfied? Did they feel, like excited? Because, as you said in your bio, like it's a transformative thing when people come and get their hair done. We're not just hairstylists, you know what I'm saying? We're like, we uplift people, and how it goes. Like
Therapist.
you're a therapist and you're a advisor and all of the things. Like you wear all the hats on top of all of the stuff that comes with being an owner of your own business, right?
Yes.
So I think we need to let's talk. So tell me some of the things that you do for your clients that make them feel good, and some customer service skills that you have that you find has really helped you to grow your business and bring people back into your shop.
Well, first I start with a consultation.
Okay, that's right, girl.
I might offer water, I might offer juice, soda. If I have wine, just
Yeah,
anything to get them to relax.
yeah,
Start with the in-depth consultation, like
yeah.
what are their goals, what they plan to do. Then I give them tips. in
Yeah.
case they don't see me every week or every 2 weeks, how to maintain their hair and what products to use that's best for their hair. Like,
Yes.
go in depth with them because I feel like if they're take the information and they're able to use it, and when they come back,
Yeah.
it'll be good. I'm a healthy hair person. So what I do
Right.
is try to help people have the best hair that they can have and love and appreciate their hair. So I go through that first. And then
Good.
after that, we go to the shampoo bowl and I'll talk more about the hair in the shampoo bowl. Or I might ask them about their day or where they're from. Like I try to get
Right.
to know them on a one-on-one
Yes.
level and get them comfortable enough to start talking. Most of the time after the shampoo bowl, they open up, they talk, just ask me questions, and I just do my best to answer them.
To your point, in regards to customer service and client retention, like just listening to you talk about your process and how consultations are imperative and kind of just finding out what's going on with the client's hair, not to mention knowing what their lifestyle is, because you're not going to offer a style or suggest a style to someone that is, let's say for instance, you won't suggest a press for somebody who is like super active, super rigorous,
Right.
right, climbs like hikes all the time, whatever, because that that style would not last in their hair. So it's really important to offer consultations just to kind of get a sense of the person's hair, because this is I'm assuming this is the first time that they're coming to you, so you're not just going to dive into doing it without knowing the background and the history and the maintenance and their lifestyle and all of that stuff, because all of those things, and even their diet too, right? So all of those things kind of get help with
all of that diet, nutrition, because
yes.
a lot of people come to me, they want to grow their hair out, which is a major part. I can put everything on the outside, but if we're not taking care of the inside either, that could be a factor that goes against what we're doing. So
Yes.
I when I say in depth, we go into it all.
Good. And then another thing too that I find that is important to find out, and not every client is willing to offer this information up front, but like medications, like what kind of medications people are on, because your medication can really affect the health of your hair, right? I've experienced clients who have had a lot of hair loss due to the type of medication that they are taking, and they don't even realize that some of the side effects is thinning hair. And so if this is someone who's coming to you for a long time, you'll be able to kind of see when things start to shift. But if it's somebody new, you don't know that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why a consultation is really important. And something else that you said that I wanted to just kind of talk about a little bit was just like getting them comfortable and getting to know them and getting them to know you. Like, so I feel that when we have clients, especially if you're in the business of like longevity, like it's also relationship building. Like it's not just client stylist exchange. It's like a relationship that you build with these people. You get to know them intimately and they get to know you intimately after a while, right?
You become a part of their lives, like their
Yes.
happiest moments, their saddest moments, they all come to you. When they graduate high school or college, it's all with you. You get to hear about it. Probably the first to hear about
That's
pregnancy
true.
or anything. Like we actually do become a part of their lives, and they become a part of our lives also. It's all in how you treat people. Like
Oh my goodness, girl. Yes. Say it again. Like I don't know if people realize the power of relationships and like empathy and like understanding and just all, I mean, like it should not be treated like a transaction.
no, it shouldn't. And I love that you use the word empathy
Yes.
because That is so important, being able to empathize with the person on their level. Yeah, that is so
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing is, we also have to understand that these are individuals. Everyone is coming from a different place, a different walk of life, a different, you know, mental clarity and so on and so forth. So like you really almost have to treat each person, like kind of curate that appointment for that person, right? So for instance, and I know we talked about this in the past, like when you have a client come into your salon, you're thinking about your space. You want it to be comfortable for them. You want them to feel comfortable. So you're thinking about cleanliness, you're thinking about organization, you're thinking
yeah.
about scent, like how the space smells. You're thinking about the like the music that you're playing, like you're curating, and it doesn't take like this whole production. Like it could be simple things, like simple steps that you can take, for each client, just to make them feel like, oh, she really remembered, or she really thought about me, like for instance, if someone's having a birthday and it's their birthday coming up, you just get them a little chocolate covered strawberries. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, or just a handwritten note, like,
Oh,
whatever. I think
just be,
people will appreciate it, right?
yes.
People would really appreciate that, and people would really feel like you've taken the time to invest in them and you understand them. And when people feel understood and heard, like that is the seal. Like you seal the deal. Like you have a client for life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they'd be happy to come see you. You're like the biggest part of their day. Like, I couldn't wait to get here. And that's what I like to hear. Cause and I think a lot of my business picked up during COVID.
Mm.
During COVID, it was extremely busy for me because people, they were in the house and I was like, oh wow, I can't wait to get to you.
Right, because they've been like locked up for so long. It felt like, you just needed to get outside and just be around other people, especially for those who may not have someone to talk to on a regular basis. You are their friend, you know what I mean? And you become friends with these people.
You
So
do.
I have clients that have been coming to me since before I retired, that they've been coming to me since my son was, 5, 6 years old, and he's 22 now. And we have shared laughs and cries and special occasions and weddings and funerals and all of the things. Like you have now, like you said, you are now part of that person's family. What I hear from clients, like a lot of new upcoming stylists, they just seem to miss that point, like when it comes to relationship building and empathy and great client experiences for people. Because I think people want that nowadays. They don't just want that, go to the salon, sit there for 8 hours, get your hair done, and then leave, and then you come back again next Saturday,
They're missing a lot of steps because on the internet you get to hear a lot of the things that's going wrong. Some people won't even shampoo your hair, which
No,
if you're licensed, that's a big no
exactly.
for sanitation reasons. And then you have a lot of people that complain about the price. That's when you make people feel like they're only a price. People, you missing the steps of making them feel a certain way or feel comfortable, or you don't provide an experience for them. Then the price is too high, or they get into that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a lot that they're missing.
Yeah, I
Social
agree.
skills
Oh
are
my God.
lacking. They don't know how to start a conversation or speak to someone. They just quiet, do your hair, get you in and get you out. You feel like you're in a robotic setting, like a robot's doing your hair. Nobody
Yeah.
feel like that. Someone
I
wants someone to talk to or acknowledge them or make them feel as if, like,
yeah.
how was your day? Who is that?
I mean,
Some
just
people,
like simple.
yeah, read the room. Some people don't want to talk. some people do
Yeah,
want to get it all out.
that's true.
Okay.
That's true. It's important to kind of read people. And being in this business, you learn how to read people really well. So you
Too.
can tell if if someone is having a good day or a bad day, and how much to pour into them if they seem like, just for example, they come in and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "Good."
You
You can tell their language, their body language.
it sometimes that is true. I had a young lady come in and that was her attitude.
Hmm.
I felt like it was more like
Yeah,
maybe push just a little bit more. And I did. And next thing you know, it turned into a therapy session. She cried and needed to let it out, but she felt good when she left. And that made me feel good as a person. It was a win. Like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah,
I think the job that we carry is so important. It's a lot more important than, we get recognition for, because, a lot of times our industries kind of look down upon, kind of like, oh, that was the second choice because something else didn't work out. So you just fell into this and you just started doing this. But like, no, this is a passion for us. This is like our it's a passion, it's our gift, and it
yeah,
is it is more than just hair.
more. Absolutely. And like you said, it is a gift. It's a gift to know how to work with people, or it's a gift to make people feel well. It's a talent to make people beautiful or
Absolutely. Yeah. I think skill is one thing, but then it you kind of have to be like well-rounded in all the other things too, because skill is just one part of what we do. Like you
yes.
got to have the skill, but you hear stories, so many of stories of people who are really talented, but they just don't seem to go anywhere with that talent, because because it doesn't just take that talent. It's like all these other things together that kind of bring you to where you want to go. So you cannot get anywhere without relationships, honestly, because we are humans. We need that interaction with each other. And so, like, the sooner you understand how, like, knowing people and making it your job to understand and know and be empathetic and understanding of people, then the better off you're going to be, because people will be attracted to that. They will feel like, it's more than just a transaction for you, and you really do care about them. And that's all we want as humans, is to know that we are heard and we are cared for, and there are people that will listen. Because even as a stylist, you and I know we go through our ups and downs too, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's reciprocated. Like, I'm talking, I'm pouring out, and they talking and pouring out, and
Help.
we become each other's support system.
Absolutely. We help
So
each
I
other.
think, yeah, so I think that's a big missing factor in today's stylist, is that it's all about, let me get my bag. I got to get that bag. I'm gonna go after that bag, and I need to get that money. I need to get paid. I need to get paid. Yeah, we need to get paid because we all need to eat, but we also need to build community. We need to build relationships. We need to have support for one another. And I
Yes.
think the more people recognize that, and really put that first, then the rest is just all gonna fall into place, right?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So I think, just like you, like when I first got, when I started off with my, my suite, I was like so worried that, because I didn't have a lot of clients either. I had, at that point, I had just had my daughter. I think I had like some major life things that happened that really kind of caused my clientele to dwindle, because I moved. Then I had a daughter. I had to take time off, and like a lot was going on. Then I got sick, so all that stuff was going on that kind of helped. I mean, caused my clients to kind of find other stylists, which is totally understandable. So I looked up and I was like, Lord, I don't have any. I woke up on a Saturday and I didn't have any clients that day. And I'm like, something has to give. So I was just sitting across from a restaurant, the street from this building, at a restaurant. And I looked over and it had a sign that said, my salon suite hiring or renting units, whatever. So I went over there, found a unit, didn't know how I was going to pay for this, but I just knew that something had to change. Like I had to make a move. Like sometimes when you find yourself stuck, in this hamster wheel, you gotta, like Steve Harvey says, take the leap. Like you gotta jump. Like you gotta take a chance on something. And that was me taking a chance and renting this unit out, even though I didn't know how I was going to afford to pay for it. I know I had enough clients to maybe make the week, but you never know. They're not coming on a weekly basis, right? So I had to figure something out. And I remember just hustling like you, working till like, late at night. And I would see the cleaning person come in every night. Like you, instead of doing Groupon, I think I did Yelp.
Yeah.
I started advertising on Yelp, and the clients started coming in, and I didn't even have to do it that long, because like you, they went out and they told other people, and they brought them in, and they came back, and so on and so forth. And there was a time where, I swear to God, I probably was doing all the Black women at Valdosta State, because they all told everybody else about me, and they all started coming to me. And then I was doing like coworkers, and it was just like groups, like a bunch of coworkers all together, a bunch of friends, a bunch of family, a bunch of sorority sisters. It was just like, I just had like intertwined into the groups of people because they were, and I always say this, like, I know I ain't the best hairstylist in Atlanta, but people were coming for me. They were coming for that effect that I was giving them, that loyalty, that, that empathy, like that they were drawn to my spirit, my vibe, my space. It was clean. It was, so all of those things add up to what it takes. So, that has been the driving force for me to want to start this podcast, because I think it's imperative that we highlight the importance of client experiences, relationship building, just creating an atmosphere that is welcoming for people, all of those things, because unfortunately you can be, the best braider on the block, but if you got a nasty attitude,
you just don't do that again. Yeah.
You always late, you never have your products, you double booking. I go in, you stay one time, and I come there and you're not even ready to see me. Like, time is money, so you're not going to last. Even though you have that skill, bad news travels faster than good news. They're going to talk about you.
It sure does. And, it's always someone else who can do our job. Like, always.
Oh, yeah.
No one should ever feel like I'm the best at this, I can do that. Okay, but it's someone who's probably better than you, with better service skills. Like, we can always work on ourselves.
Yes.
Never stop. We can constantly work on ourselves to be better. And just
I know.
agree so much. And like you said, there is a lot that the younger generation can work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So, even like some, so I can speak for myself. I'm not just sitting here pointing fingers at people, but like, whenever you're doing something for a long period of time, you get complacent. Yes. Even established clients might get complacent. So, I hope that this podcast can just bring to light, just reminding people of the basic, things that it takes to build a successful run in this business, because, it's easy to get comfortable and then forget, just like I think it's human nature. Like, when you get into a relationship, you work hard to get that person. You try to impress them all you can. You buy this and buy that. You take them here, take them there. And then once you get them, and the years start going on, you kind of stop doing the things that got you to the point that you are in the first place. So that just goes across the board from all careers, any kind of, I think it's just human nature to do that. But it's like, it's important to remind ourselves and just kind of refresh ourselves. Like, okay, let me, whatever, I don't know, do a client appreciation every now and again for somebody or whatever. Or let me have like a loyalty program where, my main clients will get a, if they come so many times, they get a free hydration. I don't know, whatever you decide that works for you and your business. But I think it's important not to forget about those older clients just as well as the new clients. Like, you work hard to get the new ones in, but don't forget about the old ones, because those are your ride or die, right?
They're your bread on your butter.
Those regular people that come all the time, they're the ones that paying your bills. So yes. Just kind of reminding folks, like, let's not, not to get complacent, and let's just remember that we are in the business of serving people. You're not, because, I hear stories too of like clients who act like, not clients, stylists who act like they're the ones who are doing you a favor as the clients. Like, yeah, as the client, like you said, you can't take that for granted. Like, there's always somebody else.
Always.
That is better or whatever. So like, you cannot take that for granted and act like you're doing me a favor, because I can go anywhere and spend my money anywhere.
And we live in a world of social media, so it's so different. It's easier to find other people to do your hair, and it's easy to get a negative comment about your service everywhere. And people, like you said, people they flock to the negativity. They flock to the negativity. So next thing you know, it'll end up going viral.
I know.
That happen. Then your whole
I didn't even think of that. Oh God, can you imagine going viral for like all the wrong reasons? Oh, yeah. No, it's not worth it, because you will get canceled quick. Okay, so yeah.
Then you spent time and money. We have to go to school. That's thousands of dollars. Like, you're investing in yourself, and just to have it go away because you have a nasty attitude, or you just don't empathize with people or care for a person at all, it's just all about your money. That's sad.
Yeah, because that doesn't bring fulfillment and like longevity and happiness. It just doesn't. Like, you might feel like you're on top for the moment, but like, I don't think it's gonna last. That's just my opinion and my experience. It's not gonna last if that's what you're putting forward before you're looking at all the other things. Like, that's not the first thing. Yes, the money will come, but you have to also do all these other steps and make people feel a certain way in order for them to continue to come back and then tell people about you. So client experience is so imperative. And like, again, that was the reason why, that was my driving force to wanting to kind of just bring this information forward to people, because I just started realizing and started seeing how the industry was just heading in a direction. It is still heading in a direction that is just not, it's just not cool. You know what I mean? It's just not, it's not cool. I remember when I was thinking of retiring, I had done my research and found a bunch of stylists that I could refer my clients to, because, and then, some people would have been like, whatever, girl, they can do it on their own. You're retiring, peace out. They could figure it out. But I wanted to make sure that my people were going into, situations that were going to be easy for them to transition into. I didn't want to just leave them hanging. Right. And again, that's the people person in me. Not everyone would approach it that way. But I remember reaching out to a stylist and just to kind of interview her a little bit for my clients, because I didn't know all of these people personally, but I kind of saw their work and I was like, okay, she might be a good fit. Let me just see if she's accepting new clients, this and that and the other. So I did my own research before I submitted the information to my clients. And this girl, her phone went straight to voicemail. And then I get a text, no lie, this long. Okay. what? I mean, the text was like, don't, you need a deposit. You know, if you're 15 minutes late, it's gone. I don't wash hair. I mean, all the rules and regulations of her expectation for a service that she offers. Now, mind you, I have not even spoken to you. What if I'm a client looking for a stylist? I have not spoken to you. I have not felt your vibe. I don't know what your spirit is like. I don't even know if I want to come to you. And this is the first impression that I get from you is the rules and regulations of your operation. Like, no, that's not, that's not.
Oh, that can go both ways. Okay, let's kind of talk about that a little. I answer the phone. I like to speak to people because it's probably quicker than texting.
That's true.
Sometimes though, when I'm on a one-on-one appointment with my client, I don't like to answer the phone.
Absolutely,
So,
I agree.
on my voicemail, I explain that and give me a second to get back with you. Now, with the deposits and the rules, I wanted to touch on that a little bit too. When I'm business, I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. Like, I grew up where you can just make an appointment and go get your hair done. But we were courteous enough not to just not show up or
that's true.
So now we live in a world where people will make appointments and show up and you take your time. And we live in Atlanta. I live probably 22 minutes away from my salon without traffic, with traffic an hour. So I'm gonna take the time to do that. I do require a deposit. I didn't want to do it, but I got stood up so many times that I had to. Now, what I will do is I will transfer my deposit if a client cannot make it. I transfer it because things like, again, empathy. You have to have and know when to do it. Some people will take advantage of you, and because of the way that the world is now, we have to have some things in place to protect us and to protect our family too, because if you just decide not to show up, someone else could have had that appointment. And my business still, I can't tell the person that I'm renting from, well, 3 people didn't show up, so I can't pay you today. Can you take it? I can't do that.
No. Because at the end of the day, it's still a business.
It's still a business.
All. And yes, you need that. Like that's your bread and butter. Like, so I totally agree. I think to each his own. If that is your experience and you want to require a deposit for each service, then that's fine. The thing that bothered me with her was like, that was my first interaction with you. And my first interaction is all of the things that you cannot do and she will not take, and how she, so like what you said, as far as like, if you're not on the phone, if you're on the phone, I mean, if you're styling, you don't want to get on the phone. I totally agree with that. I think it's rude for people to be on the phone while they're servicing a client that's sitting in front of you, because that should be your focus. It's different if you're like, hey, I'm with a client, I'll call you back, click. But like, if you're sitting on there having a full-blown conversation with somebody, then that's that's not really considering the person that's sitting in front of you. But like you said, you had a voicemail that said, hey, I'm sorry I missed your call. I'm probably with a client. I will return your call as soon as I get a free chance. That's cool. But like, you just sending me a text with like, blah, 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 blah. Don't do this, don't do that. And I ain't taking this and I ain't doing this. Like, that is not
that's true.
To me.
That's I think that's rude. Yeah,
that was the first interaction I had with her. And it was just like, whoa, I don't know if I want to go to you, because you got all this rules and regulations and I haven't even had a chance to have a conversation with you, So I think it's different, like requiring a deposit, which is totally fine. Like, I mean, like, you're right. You do have to protect yourself, and your time is valuable. And, we're not living in the salon, so we have lives outside of our businesses. So, you don't want to have to take the time out of your day and go there and then the person just not show up and don't even call. Like, that's very inconsiderate. So that's where, deposits come in handy, because you don't feel like it's a total loss. And that's fine. To each his own. You know, I never required deposits. I thought about it. And I, you know, but I never did it. I never required a deposit. There was a time where I would allow people to pay for their appointments ahead of time if they wanted to. But no deposit was ever required from my clients. But like I said, to each his own, you know what I mean? I kind of, I don't know why I never did it. I just felt bad about doing it. I think at that point I had an established clientele and I kind of knew them already. But in the case of new people, I can see how that is like a protection of your time. Because you know, you don't just want to just waste your time and just go there and then nobody show up, because you know, if we don't work, we don't get paid. You know what I mean? That's the reality of our business, you know.
Right, you
But
don't work.
before we go, I wanted you to tell me a little bit about your vitamin business company that you created. So please let us know, because we touched a little bit about the importance of health and hair, but I just didn't want to forget about that. So I want you to talk about what drove you to start it, and like how's it going, and how, you know, how did your clients like it and that sort of thing. So
Okay, so I'm actually from Florida. And when I moved from Florida to Georgia, I had not experienced winters,
uh-huh.
like summer type weather. So I was missing the vitamin D in the winter, and
Oh yeah.
thyroid. They thought I had hyperthyroidism or Graves' disease. Like, I lost so much weight, my hair started falling out, my eyes sunk in. Like, I had a lot of things going wrong. So I went to a specialist, and after they took everything, the only thing that was wrong with me was I was negative in vitamin D. I had a
Oh
vitamin D. So
yeah.
I started taking vitamin D. I came right back to life. So I went and got my hair school book.
You got your what?
My hair school book, my lady.
Oh yes.
And I
Yeah.
went to the section where it talked about vitamins and how
Yes.
important it was to hair. And I
Yeah.
had another client ask me to write down a list of vitamins that she needed to take for her hair. So
Yeah.
by the time I went down the list, we had so many vitamins that you're gonna end up spending a lot. So
Oh wow.
a manufacturer during COVID. I found a manufacturer in Georgia,
Yeah.
and contacted them and told them what I wanted to put in one vitamin for hair. And we went
Yeah.
through the whole process. It took me like a year and a half to complete it. And and then we came up with it. I called it Vita Glow and Grow. The reason
Yeah.
why is because I'm a big fan of Coming to America, and I
Oh
just
yeah.
thought of
No.
so
Yes.
glow.
Yeah. So glad.
I'm kind of goofy too, so
No, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
I made it be Vita Glow and Grow. But then
Okay.
as I grew, I did very well with the vitamin. I even went to a couple shows, and it
Nice.
turned out very well. I could talk about it. I saw results. I had a girl who had tension alopecia. Her hair grew back in 4 months. And then I had a
Wow.
girl who was suffering from thinning. It just became thicker. Like, I actually
Right.
tested it out first. And like I said, I'm into healthy hair. So I
Yes.
know that if the inside is not right, from my experience,
Yes.
clients, then the outside won't be right. A lot of our food is
Oh
missing
my
nutrients.
God. Trash.
Yes, very much so. So we need a supplement to
We
help,
do.
if not with your hair, skin, and nails, with everything else too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to grow the business, not just for hair, skin, and nails, but
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I had to change the name because the first name was for basically just hair. So what I did was I came up with Vita Beauty Labs,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have 4 different vitamins. We're in the middle of a relaunch, rebrand. I did everything all over, and I can't wait. I'll send you some.
Oh, please. I
I-
mean, Is it live? I mean, is your website live? Like, is there, if
It's
someone was interested in
password,
getting these vitamins, how could they do that? How could they get some?
it's password protected right now because of the
You're
relaunch,
still
but
working on, okay.
it's www.vitabeautylabs.com.
Okay. I'll make sure that I put a caption on there for that so that people can go to it, because by the time we launch this episode, it will probably be like mid-June or so. So,
I have a 15-day cleanse that's coming out. It's a cleanse vitamin, but it also comes with a 15-day meal plan that I had a nutritionist put together. I'm giving that away for free with the
oh
purchase.
my gosh. Tell us the website again.
It's www.vita, V-I-T-A, beauty, B-E-A-U-T-Y, labs, L-A-B-S.com.
Okay, perfect. That is awesome. I am sitting here with my mouth to the floor because in the I don't like, we have only met one time before this, but the universe has brought us together for so many reasons. We have, our stories are eerily alike. Like, it's crazy how our stories are similar, up to what you just said regarding your health. Because I, in 2022, was experiencing major like symptoms, hair loss, weight loss, frequent bowel movements, shaky hands, heart palpitations. I mean, I can't even think what the rest were, but I was diagnosed with Graves' disease because my thyroid was hyper. I have hyperthyroidism, and I have Graves' disease. And once that I got that diagnosis, I went from being a healthy person, not on any vitamins, to waking up on my birthday in 2022 with like 5 pills on my nightstand with different not vitamins, different medications. I even had an inhaler because I had shortness of breath, all of that. I broke out in hives. It was just, and my body felt like, my muscles felt like what I would imagine like osteoporosis or arthritis or something would feel like. It was just painfully, like, just aching. I couldn't even lift my hand. That's when I started noticing I was doing hair and I couldn't even lift my hand above my shoulder. So health is our health is so important. And I didn't even notice my hair was thinning out until, I was deep into it. And then because I have locks, so it's harder for me to see my locks are thinning because I don't comb my hair on a daily basis to see shedding coming out, right? So my locks thinned out, and they put me on all this medication. But I said to myself, this is not my story. This is not how it's going to be. I'm changing my lifestyle. And I dive deeply into like figuring out the source of the problem. And it really came down to gut health.
Good. Yes.
And to your point, the food that we consume is really terrible for our gut health. And a lot of diseases stem from poor gut health, especially autoimmune diseases, because it's just so rampant in this society, not just in our community, but like in this society. Like, you're seeing people with anxiety and depression, and even acne is an autoimmune disease, osteoporosis and Graves, and Hashimoto's disease. I mean, that's to do with your thyroid, but like so many problems that are plaguing us that stem from our gut. And so it made me, and I remember waking up looking at those pills, and I just prayed, and I'm like, God, this cannot be my life. Like, I just imagine going from not having being on anything to having to take all these things. And I heard God say to me, Claire, as I'm talking to you today, change your eating. I immediately went downstairs and started juicing.
Yeah,
and
berries. Berries. The berries are good for that. Because I went and researched food too. As soon as they told me before I could get to the doctor, it has a lot to do with food and nutrition.
What? Everything to do with it. So, girl, I just dived into just figuring out how to get myself off this medicine. Like, I need to figure out how to get off this medicine. And at that point, my immune system was so out of whack it was just firing off stuff all kinds of ways. Like I was just dealing with so many issues all at once because my immune system was in overload. And there was this book that I read called The Autoimmune Disease, which really breaks down what autoimmune diseases are, how it's caused, what stems from it, and all the different, I mean, it was a list that I never even thought was autoimmune related, but they are. And so, like the hives, I was just scratching. And when I would scratch myself, within seconds, whelps would just appear all over my body. And hives is autoimmune.
Yes.
Who would have thought that, right? So I just cannot, just people just don't understand the importance of our health, our foods, our lifestyle. All of that has an impact on our hair, in our body. So the autoimmune solution is the name of the book. It was just amazing. It taught me so much. And thank God, 2 years later, now 2024, I am off the medicine. I am not on it. I'm taking a supplement. Thank Jesus. I'm taking a supplement for the thyroid because unfortunately for me, once you develop Graves, you cannot get rid of it, but it can go into remission. So, my whole goal is I was able to keep my thyroid because they were really trying to push me to remove it and kill it. And I was like, slow down. Like I just found out about this. Let me understand my body, what's going on with my body before I decide to pull a major organ out of my body. Right. And so I was able to change my change my lifestyle, change my eating. And then as a result of that, really kind of take control over my health. So I need your vitamins, ma'am. I need your vitamins. I need that nutrition plan. I'm going to order. So please let me know when you have it and it's back online because I am going to be a client of yours. I need this stuff yeah, absolutely. I'm all about health and just living a healthy lifestyle. And it definitely starts from within. I remember years ago, I had a little, like a client appreciation thing called Healthy Hair, Healthy Living. And we just had real whole foods and we had whole foods displayed. We had a juicing event and just like educating people on the importance of and the connection between hair and health.
I love that.
I think you and I are like, soul sisters because I'm just like, I'm listening to your story and I'm like, oh my God, that's my story. That's me. That's what I went through. This is crazy. So I think it's divine that we met. I think it was meant to be that we met.
We have to connect. Maybe we could do an event where we do that. Like
I would love to do that because I only did it one time, but it was successful. But I just didn't, life kind of took over and I, husbands and children and now I'm kind of at the point where things are kind of slowing down a little bit, but I would absolutely love to do an event like that where we just really talk about the importance of our health and as it relates to our hair and just our lifestyle, honestly.
Right. It's so important.
Yeah. Well, I am so thankful. I'm so happy that we got to chat. I'm sorry about the last one where we kind of got cut off, but I'm glad that we got back on it. We didn't give it up. We just, kept going. And I'm so thankful that I met you. I want us to connect in real life. You're in the same city, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's meet for lunch. You never know what can come out of this relationship. But I would love to have you back on when you launch your vitamin company so we can just have a little bit more in-depth conversation about that. And then maybe, you never know, something can come out of it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I also have a hair book. It's called The Hair Plan. That is available for pre-order on Amazon Kindle. Okay. And the book will be released on July the 2nd. So I have back in the on Kindle version, which I would love to talk about that more maybe next time with the
Absolutely. What is the book called? Tell us again what the book is called.
It's The Hair Plan.
The Hair Plan. And that's available on Amazon.
Yes, it's The Hair Plan, Accomplishing Your Hair Goals.
Accomplishing Your Hair Goals. available for pre-order on Amazon.
Yes.
I'm going to order that book. Okay, girl. Check and check. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. I love what you're doing. And even just in talking about the other things that you're doing, and this is something I've talked about in my other episodes, it's just diversifying yourself. Like, you don't only have to be behind the chair. Like, you could, you know what I'm saying? You don't only have to have a product line. You could have a vitamin line. You could have a book. You could teach. You could have events. Like, there's so many ways that you can make money in this industry, and you're just not stuck behind the chair. So I love that you're showcasing that in your career, and it's working for you. I'm so happy that we met. I'm so glad we had this conversation. Thank you very much for taking the time to pour into our community, because we need it. We need to hear these stories. And I really appreciate you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed our conversation, and it was wonderful. It needs to be talked about a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you know anyone who is interested in being a guest on my podcast, feel free to call or text me and let me know. Hook me up with them. I will be more than happy to reach out to them and just have this conversation. And then we're going to talk again. We will be making plans to get back on this call. All right, Jontue. Until next time, please be blessed.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Salon Social Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and that you can join us again next week as we continue to dig into the business of salon business. You can find these episodes and more streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, as well as social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Follow us at Salon Experience Consultant and Salon Social Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe to stay in the know.